A few years ago, at the beginning of 2020, I started a new series called Road to Top 10 in our Kinch ranks. Basically, I would make a video each month on the progress I was making to try and get into the top 10 of the UK for Kinch ranks, which is a type of all-rounder rankings. So I was practicing different events, talking about which events I was practicing, and then going to comps and talking about my PRs and how I was improving. And I thought it was an okay series, but the issue is, this was at the beginning of 2020, and a few months into 2020, a little thing called COVID-19 came along, bloody coronavirus, came, and then all the comps were cancelled for 2 years, which is a bit shit if you're making a YouTube series about that is based around official WTA results. So naturally, I stopped the series, and in the end I basically stopped cubing for a year. But last year I started cubing again for as comps were announced, and I thought I'd make a video summarizing the PRs and stuff I got in 2022. So I'll have to speedrun this a bit because obviously I went to a bunch of comps this year, and broke a lot of PRs. According to Cubing China, I competed 13 times in this year, did 189 rounds, did every event, and attempted 863 solves, of which only 821 were successful. Don't know how I got so many DNFs. Probably just blind DNF and seeing dumb stuff. But I'll start with 3x3. So first competition I went to, Wakefield Open, I beat my PR. Did no practice, still beat my PR, got a 14 flat average. Then beat that at my second comp as well, 13.16, and third time competing in 3x3, got down 12.08. And then fourth comp I competed in 3x3, I got an 11.03 average, that was at Euros. The full comp I did in 3x3 this year. And that was about 2 seconds quicker than my global at the time, which is still my global. I'd say I still average around 13. So that was absolutely crazy. Also got my first sub-10 single at Stevenage Summer 2022, and then later beat that at Druitt Spa Autumn with a 9.25. So those are my current 3x3 PRs, they were pretty good. Didn't really practice any 3x3 this year, just improved by going to comps and getting lots of rounds and getting lucky and stuff. 2x2, similar, didn't really practice, but improved just through going to lots of comps. So for single, pretty early on I got a 155 single and a 5 mover. That was pretty bad, it should have been sub 1, but didn't want to look. Then improved my average throughout the year and managed to get it down to a 321 average at Droitwich Spa on some very lucky scrambles. That was very good. Was not at all expecting that, but still to average about 5 on 2x2. 4x4, I practiced a lot of 4x4 this year because it's one of my worst events and still is. But didn't even have a sub 1 average at the start of the year, but I managed to get that at Stevenage Spring with a 58.25. Later then pushed it down throughout the rest of the year and managed to get a 48.03 average at ABHC, which is my current PR. Also beat my PR single a lot, got first sub 50 single at Stevenage Spring, and then managed to get down to a 42.25 single, which is my current one at Stevenage Autumn A. 5x5, I practiced a lot of 5x5 as well. I just really like 5x5 and I switched to Yao this year. Started with a 147 average and a 126 overall PB single. Those were my first PRs at Farnworth Spring. The single was really good, the average was a bit crap. Then got the average down to 134 at Stevenage Spring. So that was good. Then slowly pushed it down a few times, and then at East London Autumn, my most recent comp, I got a 122.02 single and a 127.06 average, which is my first sub 130 official average, and that was really good. 6x6, didn't do much 6x6 this year, but did drop my PR a fair amount. Got a 336 average with a 324 single at Farnworth Spring, and then comp after Stevenage Summer got a 309.66 single and a 317.14 average, which were at the time overall PBs. Haven't beaten them. 7x7, I've done a fair bit of practice. I did no practice for 6x6. I did a bit at the start of the year. 7x7, I'd say I've done a fair bit. I got a 456.84 single and a 529.5 mean at Farnworth Spring, which was good because that was my first official 7x7 mean. And then later beat it at Stevenage Autumn A with a 429.82 single and a 451.29 mean, which my current PRs, and that was my first sub 5 mean in comp. And that they both might be overall PBs. Actually, I think I did the single recently, but yeah, they were overall PBs. Blind, I was been going for a mean, but I haven't really practiced anything at all at home, so no PRs this year. Three rounds where I got 2 successes in the first 2 solves and then DNF'd by either 2 flipped edges or 2 twisted corners on the last. So that kind of sucks. But this year definitely got to get a mean. FMC didn't PR. Only had a few rounds, but Euros I got 2 DNFs and a 37. That was pretty crap. Norwich Summer I only had 1 time DNF'd. UKC I started with a 28, which could have been a 24 with optimals and insertions. That was kind of cool, but I'm a bit annoyed about missing the 24. But then DNF'd the second 2. OH I didn't practice massively this year, but I did get a very lucky single at ABHC. I first got an 18.35, which was my first sub 20 single officially, and then the very next solve was a 15.96, which was absolutely crazy, and that counted the 18, so I got 22.59 average there, and I beat the average at 21.91 average. Didn't really practice OH at all this year, just got lucky kind of. So that was nice. I'm going to be switching to RU for 2023. For clock, improved my clock quite a lot because my clock results pre-pandemic were, I had a counting 23 because clock. Wakefield Open, I got 12.89 average. That was alright, but I DNF'd an 8 single that was like PB2 at the time. So that was really annoying. Then second time I competed in clock this year, I got 10.67 average and 9.47 single. That was kind of cool. And then later dropped down to a 10.01 average at Droitwich Spa, where Jacob Chambers actually broke world records. So that was cool. It was in the exact same round I got those scrambles. They were good scrambles. And I got an 8.02 single at Cube's UK Championships 2022. So that was cool. Improved Mega massively. First comp Wakefield Open. Beat my Mega Minx average by about 40 seconds, got a 143.37 average, which was still kind of bad for me at the time, but so much better than my previous PR, which was from Welsh Open 2019. Then at Euros, I then beat it by another 20 seconds. I got a 123 average and a 117 single, which I think were both overall PBs at the time. Then at Stevenage Autumn A, I got a 114.29 single, which was my overall PB at the time. And then at East London Autumn 2022, I got my first sub 120 average with a 119.74 average, which again was overall PB at the time, so it really popped off in Mega. And in 2023, I think I'm going to go for a sub 1 average, because I've been enjoying Mega in 2022, and yeah, I think it's doable sub 1. Pira practiced a lot of start of the year, just grinded a bunch before Stevenage Spring, because my PR was from like 2018. Our Fontwell Open 2019, so start 2019. But yeah, grinded a lot before Stevenage Spring, got a 538 average in finals there, so that was cool. And then at Euros, I got a 5.07 average on very lucky scrambles. So that I probably won't be that anytime soon, but maybe, you never know. And I got good singles. I got first sub 5 single at Stevenage Spring with 452, first sub 4 single at Stevenage Autumn with 398, and then got a 3.42 current, which is my current PR at East London Autumn on a very lucky scramble that should have been sub 3, but I'm bad at Pira. Scube, I improved at Scube a lot. Started my first comp out with 437 PR average, then didn't beat it throughout the year until UKC, where I got a 383 average and a 355 average. I made a video about that, you can go watch it. And then at East London Autumn, I got an extremely lucky single on a 7 mover, got a 187, which could have probably been NR if I'd been better at recognising sledges. But very happy with that. Square one improved a lot. Started with a 26 average at Wakefield, which was PR. Then got down to a 21.54 average at West London Open. And then East London Autumn at the end of the year, I practiced quite a lot for. And I got a 19.14 average, my first sub 20, which had a 14.79 single, which was very lucky. Had like 2 move cube shape. 4 blind. My 4 blind was, I'm very happy with this year because I got my first ever success at ABHC, which is 14 minutes and 6 seconds. That's what's going on in the background. Every other attempt I've done this year was a DNF, but I only need the one success. 5 blind, done 2 attempts this year, DNF both. They weren't terrible, I think both might have been exec errors, I'm not sure, but it was still not completely scrambled. I'm hoping for 2023 I'm going to get this 5 blind success. And multi, only done 1 attempt in 2022, which was a 5 out of 7 in 55 minutes and 45 seconds in Droitwich Spa, which was my PR. And it beats my previous PR from Fondwell Open 2020, which is a 4 out of 7 in the hour, which was actually the last time I had done a multi attempt before that attempt. So yeah, considering absolutely 0 practice, I'm happy with the PR. So overall, a lot of good improvements. I'll talk about the summer ranks and Kinch ranks improvements in a second. In terms of improvements for summer ranks and Kinch ranks, at the start of the year for Kinch, I was NR70, and I'm now up to NR46. With my worst event being 5 blind because I haven't done it, but other than 5 blind, it's multi and then 3 and 4 blind. So basically blind events, and then worst sighted event is currently square 1, I think. No, clock, obviously, because Jacob's really fast, so that makes clock Kinch quite hard, but I'm practicing clock at the moment, and I'm hoping I will try and at some point grind some blind, especially big blind. I'm going to be grinding that to get the 5 blind success, and we'll hopefully improve my 4 blind and multi along with it. So that should be a good improvement. In terms of summer ranks, I've improved a lot. I don't remember exactly where I was at the start of the year, but I'm now 37th in the UK for single and 42nd for average. So hopefully pushing into the top 20 for summer ranks next year, and maybe for Kinch ranks. I think it might depend. For summer ranks, my current worst events are 4x4 and 3x3 for both single and average. So I'm going to practice more 3x3 next year, going to try and get sub 10, and I think that'll help quite a lot, as a lot of my weakest events are end by ends, and 3x3 should help that. And obviously I'll do some 4x4 as well, try and push for sub 40, because that would be a very solid time for, or solid ranking for UK, I think. So that's the main things in terms of summer ranks. I've also now top 1000 in the world for summer ranks single, which is kind of cool. Had some quite lucky singles, and yeah, I'm gonna try and maybe not monthly videos for this series, but at least when I have groups that have done a few competitions and stuff like that, I will make a video updating the series, and I'm gonna really focus on my weaknesses after I've my 2 main aims for next year are sub 3 cube average and sub 10 3x3, but after that I can work on being a proper all-rounder again. So yeah.